If you are finished, unload and show clear.
Hi, my name's John, and I'm addicted to shooting pistols, rifles, and shotguns. If I don't go to a match often, I get withdrawals and I start to act like a weirdo, and and I spend a lot of money on ammunition, components, and pistols, and I think about shooting and I read about shooting a lot. Sometimes I go into my basement. Well, not sometimes, like every night, and I reload bullets, or else I do dry fire practice, and um, um, and sometimes on the weekend I'll abandon my family and go shoot on Saturday and Sunday, and then I shoot trap on Wednesday, and I'm a good person really, but I have a disease. I have a problem. I'm just messing with you. Yeah, I'm addicted to shooting. Honestly, if there's not a match to go to on the weekend, I kind of feel bummed out. I really like matches. I like seeing the people. I'm a total bitch at a match, though. To be honest with you, I'm fucking hyper competitive, and I suck. But I'm a hyper competitive person, and yeah, I mean, what can I tell you? And that's just the way it is, and so you know, I can be fairly serious at a match, but yeah, no apologies there. That's just the way it is. So funny thing happened this weekend. I shot a match on Saturday, an IDPA match. It was a great match. It really was. I mean, the stages were great. I enjoyed it. The club, Worcester Pistol and Rifle, I've been shooting there for a while now. They're monthly club matches, and they keep getting better and better. I mean, they're really bringing it. They do a great job. The other group that does a great job is Metro West Tactical at Harvard Sportsman Club is phenomenal. Great matches. I think everybody that I've brought to those matches or showed, or people that have even viewed videos of those, have been like, wow, those are good matches. They really are. I mean, they are. Those club matches are truly, they're on a level of like what you would see at a sanctioned match, and same skill, same care, setting them up. They have just stuff that's just super bitchin'. Um, IDPA is a love of mine. I was shooting CDP. I moved away from CDP for stock service pistol. I shot CDP last year. The plan was to move to stock service pistol this year. Maybe next year go to revolver or whatever. Maybe back to this. But I'm qualified or classified in 1911 or CDP. I'm also classified for SSP. So IDPA is a love of mine. IDPA is, as a game, has a lot more rules. It has a lot more requirements in terms of you have to wear a cover garment. There's rules about using cover, and shooting from behind cover properly. When cover's available, you have to use it. There's things like tactical sequence versus tactical priority. What's the difference? Well, we had 3 targets here. I'm doing this for Bones on campus. He loves these visual demonstrations. If these are 3 targets they have to shoot at, tactical sequence would be, 2 shots each in tactical sequence would mean I'm going to shoot this one once, this one once, and this one once, twice, another time. So you have to shoot them in sequence. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. You have to engage all of them before you put in the second shot, in other words. Okay? Tactical priority would mean that you are shooting these from behind a covered position. Here you go, Bones. So if this is you behind a covered position, you're shooting from the right side of this barrier, let's say, Tactical priority would be slicing the pie. So in the order that you see them, you'd shoot at this one first, then this one, then this one, right? The most immediate threat. Tactical priority from open would be shooting at the closer target before the further target. So there's all those kinds of rules, right? It's a big mental game. You got to really, and all pistol shooting has a serious mental component to it. But that's really kind of requires you to pay attention to what's going on in the stage description. I just put up a video with stage descriptions in it, and to really understand what's going on. And there's rules starting to get to shoot from sitting position or whatever. All right, so on the other hand, Sunday I shot a USPSA match. Now USPSA is always sort of, I've had an awkward love affair with it, but I have to say I think I've caught the USPSA bug. USPA classes are different. So in IDPA it's CDP, which is any 45 caliber pistol. You only load 8 rounds. There's some size requirements, but for instance your 1911s will fit in there, your M&P 45s, USP 45s, SIG P220. You can only put 8 rounds in the magazine plus 1 in the chamber. CDP. There's also stock service pistol. There's your Glocks, your M&Ps, etc. Stock service pistol. There's relatively few modifications you can do on them. You can do some trigger work, you can change the sights, but not much else really. There's some other stuff. I'm not covering everything. 10 plus 1, so there are 10 round limits in the magazine plus 1 to accommodate states that have that rule, like New York used to, and Massachusetts, etc. So CDP, SSP, ESP, enhanced service pistol, which is like ESP, it was like stock service pistol but with a lot more modifications on the gun. Typically those guns tend to be tricked out, either Glock 34s, they have a magazine well on them, not permitted in stock service pistol, or they'll be like some other modifications, for instance a Glock 17, like an extended slide release, etc., etc. So more modifications on the ESP gun. So CDP, SSP, ESP, stock service revolver, which usually is your any revolver, usually a 38 or a 357, like a Smith & Wesson 686 or a Ruger GP100. You cannot modify it to accept moon clips, but and you can have some modifications. You can change the grip, you can change the sights. And then there's ESR, Enhanced Service Revolver, where really your Smith & Wesson 625 rules the roost. It's got to make major power factor, and it can be modified to accept moon clips. I don't know about the power factor thing. I might take that back. I can't remember. My brain is like Swiss cheese. But you can make more modifications to the gun, like ESP division. Power factors for CDP are 165,000. That's the weight of the bullet times the velocity, so you can do the math. You need to come in around 720-ish or something like that to make power factor with a 230 grain ball ammunition in a 1911. I think that's true, although I'm not 100% certain for enhanced service revolver as well. I have to remember. I can't remember. You can correct me. I'm sure you will. Stock service pistol, power factor is 125,000. The same with enhanced service pistol. Same with, and stock service revolver, I think it's down to 105. So real powder puff loads. World of USPSA's, these guns have a special division called single stack. Okay, single stack pistol, right? You can shoot major power factor or minor. You're competing against each other. So major gives you a scoring advantage. The difficulty is more recoil, that kind of stuff. But you can get 9mm 1911s in that division. Shoot single stack minor. I'm shooting single stack major with this gun. I really went into USPSA this year thinking that I want to shoot my 1911s to stay up on my 1911 skill set. and it is a very different gun than a Glock 34. Let me tell you, go shoot a Glock 34, and then the next day pick up this thing and shoot this in a match. Yeah, as my daughter would say, OMG. Yeah, OMG is right. It's a different beast, and to keep those skills together are really important. So there's single stack. There is production. So single stack is 8 plus 1. For major, for minor, it's 10 plus 1. Okay. There's production, which are your Glocks, your M&Ps, and all that kind of stuff. In major and minor, the different power factor. Minor is 125. Major is 165,000. Both of them are thousands. Production, it's 125,000. Those are your standard pistols. It's 10 plus 1. Okay. Everybody in production shoots minor. Okay, so most people, if you go to the gun shop, you buy a gun, you can go to a USPSA match if you have a holster, a bunch of magazines and carriers, and you will need a bunch of magazines. For IDPA, you need basically 3 magazines. For USPSA, as many as you can fit on your belt is good. There's other requirements too. Read the rule book. But there's production for you, summed up nicely as in a very disjointed, irrational way that I excel at delivering. Then you have your limited guns. They tend to be highly tricked out 1911 style pistol or 2011 style pistols, which is more of a modular 1911 that they've had significant work done on them, and there's no real magazine capacity limit, I think, except for the size of the magazine can only be a certain size. So you can get, that's when you start seeing your 40 caliber 1911s, because you could stuff a lot more rounds in the magazine. Limited guns are not allowed to have a compensator or any optics other than iron sights. Okay. You also get a limited 10 where you don't have to get into that magazine capacity. You only have 10 rounds in the magazine. So similar, except it's a 10 round magazine. Then you have your open gun class, which is if you can build it, walk up to the line and shoot it, it's pretty much allowed. When people get into the really high-end open gun class and they get guns from Brazos Customs or SVIs or things like that, or even guns made by Zev, Infinity, all the high-end makers, those guns will entry level, even STI entry level, you're looking at with the optic on it, because most people in open class, everybody in open class is going to shoot an optic. You're going to have a compensator on it. You're looking at $3,000 and up for those pistols. Never mind the magazines are also expensive. It's going to be like $120 a pop for those big magazines. So it's basically you want to go with an optic that has mechanical devices on it that prevent recoil, so you're always on target, and it's got a huge magazine, so you never have to reload during a stage. I fell in love again, or falling in love with the USPSA because it offers you a lot of opportunities to run and gun, and you can approach stages in a little bit less encumbered manner than IDPA. But don't get me wrong, IDPA is my first pistol competition love. It is truly the sport that hooked me into pistol shooting and got me. It brought me to a whole another level and dedication to the sport. I love IDPA. I will never stop shooting IDPA, and I will always consider it my primary game. USPSA, there's a lot less rules, really. You don't need cover. You can drop a loaded mag. You can reload in the open. It's basically the stage rules are, this is where you start. These are your fault lines. You can't go outside of this area. Shoot the targets as fast as you can with 2 shots each. That's basically it. That can be really, really thrilling if you're an adrenaline junkie. Raise your hand if you're an adrenaline junkie. I am. It's fun, man. It gets you fucking jacked up. I really like it. I get off on it, and so that's where you're at. So this is a little blah 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 about pistols, and I just want to leave you with one other thing. which is the Bruins. Let's go Bruins. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. We won another cup. We just eliminated the Maple Leafs. Yep. And now we're going to eliminate the Rangers. Can you feel me? Can you feel me coming at you? Boston strong. Let's go Bruins.